And Ian Gladue says his company is the first First Nations company in history to distribute traditional, authentic Canadian cuisine worldwide. Ian makes dried meats like bison. They're sold in stores across the country and shipped around the globe now. And while it's good business, it's also a good connector to his community. And Ian Gladue joins us now here in studio. Welcome to Radioactive, Ian.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Dried meats. So what exactly are you making?
So it is a traditional dried buffalo meat. It is actually pronounced Pansawan.
Pansawan. Okay.
So Pansawan means thin sliced meat in the Cree Nehiyaw language. It dates back for thousands of years, ever since buffalo used to roam around here. And this is a traditional delicacy for us in the First Nations culture. It's something that we used to use to help preserve ourselves through the long, cold, hard winters. Mm-hmm. It was something that took on as the voyagers came over, and they were looking for a very high protein snack along the way and to really help preserve themselves. And in time it changed, as the years went by, they started to do different things to it. They started to add their own sugars and salts, and then beef kind of came into the whole picture. And so, it's about bringing our roots back and reclaiming it, like you said. And
So your nation is Wabasca Bigstone Cree?
Yes, Wabasca.
Wabasca Bigstone Cree.
So,
and where did you learn to do this, to actually smoke the meat?
Well, I was taught by my mom, Jacqueline. Actually, I just want to say I love you, Mom.
You're allowed to do that on the radio.
Thank you very much. So it was actually taught down to us. It was actually passed from her parents and then their parents. Traditional dry meat isn't just for us in our culture. Just isn't for our family. Traditional dry meat, Pansawan, is universal to all First Nations, Métis, the Inuit, Dene, and we all got a certain name for it in our own language, but like in English, we all call it dry meat. So yeah.
So you had been in the food industry, the restaurant business.
Yeah.
What changed? What happened? When did this idea to make Pansawan?
Well, I've been doing Native Delights. We actually started that back in 2012, and actually we used to be outside here across the street vending. I'm sure I probably fed you guys once or twice in those days there. And so our concession took off from there. We do food trucks and large scale catering. We also started our own restaurant down the street here, and then from there on we kind of jumped into our own little bricks and mortar at the super flea market for Saturdays and Sundays. So as the years progressed in time, so I kind of wanted to, I seriously just kind of felt like it just wasn't deep enough. I felt that our traditional aspect for the food that we were serving was definitely colonized. I felt that there was a big Western spin that was on it, and I was kind of looking for something a bit more deep rooted, and I was really searching for something that really was meaningful and touching to all of Canada. What I was looking for is for something for people to experience when they come to Canada here. There's always this big. People are always searching for something truly authentic from Canada.
Yeah.
So they travel around here, they try different foods, but they don't ever get to really try something authentic. So I was sitting there and I was talking with my mom one day. Actually, I'm just going to pull this out here. Sorry. So I got a little stash here for you guys.
Okay, good.
Sorry, counselor there, Mr. Aaron Piquet kind of dug into the bag on the way here.
Okay.
So sorry there, buddy.
That's fine.
We were kind of looking for something a bit more rooted, and I was talking with my mom one day, and I told her that I really wasn't feeling like I was really grabbing the hearts of our people in a sense. Like there's so much support for Native Delights. It's huge, but I just feel like there's something more for the world. And when I was telling her that I don't feel like it's there yet. And then she says, well, what are you thinking of then? And then as she's sitting there cutting up dry meat, and she's sitting there slicing it, and I was looking at her and I was thinking, holy smokes. I said,
light bulb moment.
I'm going to make dry meat.
Wow.
And that's the way it started. And of course, we got to follow in our traditional ways and our respectful ways. So right away, when you get that thought, traditionally, we must therefore go to our elders. We must also respectfully give our tobacco offerings, because that was one of our first medicines that were actually gifted to us in our culture.
And that was important to you to have that elder approved.
That's right,
label.
yeah. And go to our traditional sweats and talk to the elders and explain to them what we're trying to do here and how we're trying to preserve and restore our culture in a very positive way.
I want to fast forward a little bit. You had some food scientists come to a plant in Leduc to check the processing, to check how this was being done, and they were mystified at how not only you're doing it, but that you could ship something that had no preservatives.
Yeah, so actually we started off here in 2015 is when we started provincially here in Alberta, and we used to have this little kitchen down the road here, and we were doing all of our dry meat from there. And at the time we had Alberta Health working alongside with us, and it just got big right away. And as we progressed on, we took the big leap of faith going to CFIA federally approved. So when we started there, definitely there was a lot of probing. There was mandatory probing. So actually I got some great footage here, some awesome photos of about 100 probes going into all of our traditional meat. And so they kind of tested to make sure, of course, it's going to be shelf stable. What we're actually saying is going to be true. They also want to make sure that if we're going to distribute worldwide, that we're still complying with the rules and regulations, So that was really something mind-boggling for them to really kind of see something that was so deep-rooted. And so a lot of the questions came up to like, where was this program designed? You know, like who built this program? I was like, well, our people, our elders designed this for thousands of years, right? And but it's great to see that. It's wonderful to show the community. It's wonderful to show the world that we can still go back to our roots, and we can still do these and still live in this world that we're in a very respectful way. You know, I feel like it's a calling for me, to be honest with you.
You're in 300, I think more than 300 stores already.
Yeah, we actually signed a big deal here with Sobeys. They were actually one of the first huge chains to actually acknowledge First Nations culture and to actually bring on a First Nations delicacy. So Sobeys Inc. gave us 330 stores all through Western Canada.
Nice.
Already before that, through our own retailers, we had about 130 some stores going. And then we got a lot of interest from Northwest Company now. So we're actually doing a trial base with them where we kind of launched out to about 10 stores or so. And then once sales prove, which they are going extremely well, we got 275 stores on top of that. We got some discussions with duty free coming up. So that's actually something I'm really looking forward to, is that people can travel here and experience, sample, and take home with them something truly authentic to Canada.
You going to expand the actual meats? Are you going to go beyond bison?
Well, we actually, so Pansawan is a traditional company focused on preserving and restoring traditional delicacies. And so we are focused on this one traditional meat, which is called Pânsâwân Dry Meat. Next, we got traditional pemmican coming out, and we're working on a traditional dry fish, which is like really, really extremely well. And all of these products only have two simple ingredients to it. It's all a traditional way of smoking it delicately, And it's just we try to use like the best quality from it, right? So free range, grass fed, hormone free, steroid free, antibiotic free. So we really try to keep that healthy grounds to it, right? So
Ian, so great to have you here to talk about this, and just all the best in the future with this. And
thank you.
hope it
I
grows
actually,
big.
sorry, I kind of wanted to just say for 2 seconds here. So there is a couple other stores here. Optimum Health. There's been a big shift in the product now with people that are actually caring about what they're putting into their body, right? So there's been a big shift with that. People just kind of going back to the basics. I just want to say thank you.
Traditional, yeah.
Thank
Great
you so
to have
much.
you here. All the best.
Blessings to you guys. Thank you.
Ian Gladue is the owner of Pânsâwân Dry Meat, and we will continue to watch as this expands globally.